Let's go ahead and get you outside. A live look over Boston right now. Sunny, warming up after several days of cooler temperatures.
Meteorologist Ann Cicalese is here. So Ann, how long can we expect these nice conditions?
Not very long. We do have changes coming, so soak it in and get outside if you can. We have mid-60s in the forecast inland. I think some of the warmest spots could get close to 70. Not quite as warm tomorrow, but still a little closer to average inland. And then we really take a nosedive here as we move toward the middle to later half of our week, with temperatures struggling to get into the mid-50s as we approach the weekend. It is 66 in Fitchburg right now, so things are heating up, especially inland. We're already seeing signs of the sea breeze developing at the coast. In Boston, we're struggling to get through the mid to upper 50s here. East wind at about 11 miles per hour, so much cooler feel if you're at the coast and heading into Boston than compared to what we're seeing inland. But we do have a blue sky region wide, so we're holding on to that for the rest of today. Making our way a little closer to 60 by the end of this afternoon. We'll make our way toward the mid to upper 60s inland, approaching 70 into southern New Hampshire and the Connecticut River Valley. We're cool and calm tonight. Low 30s expected, some of the coldest spots, upper 30s elsewhere. On our radar, we're tracking what's next, and that's a more widespread rainfall expected for Thursday, playing a part with our temperature outlook as well. I'll have that full timeline ahead. Erica and Antoinette.
I know that threat actually started earlier even in the day than typical.
Yes, we had a round this morning and then a more severe and significant round expected later this afternoon into this evening. Already severe thunderstorm watches that have been posted. We've seen several tornado warnings on and off throughout the day already. That tornado threat moving into areas of southern Illinois and into Indiana. It's very high. That does extend into Missouri as well. In fact, as you look at the color chart here, this area of purple is indicating a high likelihood of tornado development later today. We're also tracking this feed of tropical moisture that's been somewhat locked in place for much of the Midwest. So you may have noticed it's been a very active weather pattern for them this spring severe weather season. But some of that moisture will try to work its way east. Now, it's not going to be to the level of what they're seeing out west. However, here locally, you can see how there's a little bit of a pull of some of that heavier moisture plume toward our area for Thursday. And the significance of this is that will help to break a more beneficial rain into our forecast. So as we break down what's on our radar over the next 12 hours, no sign of rain. In fact, we're bright, we're dry. We're actually seeing things warming up quite a bit for inland spots. But our next threat is a steady, more widespread rain that is moving in on Thursday. And with that pull of that tropical moisture plume, we could easily see about an inch of rainfall here. So it's a good soaking rain in the forecast Thursday. We're looking ahead to the weekend. With that rain moving in late this week, we do cool down, and that cool trend will likely continue into this weekend as well. It's a little unsettled too. We'll be watching for some clouds, maybe a few spot showers, but it's not looking like a washout this weekend by any means. 56 in Boston right now, feeling quite a bit cooler than we are inland. In fact, it's about a 10-degree difference, our inland spots compared to the coastline, where we're seeing most inland locations into the mid-60s right now compared to yesterday, about 5 to even 10-degree jump. So this is a good jump for much of the area, and the warm-up continues. I believe in Boston we'll get really close to the 60-degree mark, but that east wind or the sea breeze will prevent us from climbing too far into the 60s at the coast. You could see places like Plymouth saying in the mid to upper 50s today. But move inland, 128. I would plan on the mid-60s today. Getting into the Merrimack Valley, a little closer to 70, and the Connecticut River Valley is another hot spot where we'll likely see a few spots crossing into the 70s this afternoon. We're cool and calm tonight, mostly clear, and that will set us up for really a beautiful start to our Tuesday. A little bit of a chill factor as we do fall into the 30s for most of the suburbs, but a nice recovery in the afternoon, nearing 60 degrees inland, 50s at the coastline, not too dissimilar from today. But you'll see some of these clouds moving in during the late half of the afternoon and evening. This is paused around 5, and you can see for your Tuesday night, while it's mainly dry here, there's some showers off to our west, and so that's kind of pointing to a more unsettled pattern for your Wednesday. Clouds, maybe a sprinkle or two. But this is what we're tracking. It's a more substantial widespread rain. It's moving in with a front, and you can see by late Wednesday night that's just to our west. It moves into our area likely early on Thursday. Look at how heavy this looks for Thursday morning. So I do think we'll see some soaking downpours at times Thursday morning. That starts to clear out into Friday morning with an area of low pressure still nearby just to our north. I do think we'll see some clouds in our area Friday, maybe a sprinkle or two, but the bulk of this moisture falling on Thursday, and a lot of models indicating that we could should see a solid inch in our area. So let's break down your 7 days, not just the rain that we're tracking. We're also tracking a cool trend. So we go from near 60 today and tomorrow down into the 50s, and the 50s is where we'll stay as we kick off the month of May on Friday and into the weekend. So Erica, that's nearly 5 to even 10 degrees below normal at that point.
Wow. Okay. Chill.
Oh yeah.
I like it.
The nails on it. Ooh.
So we've got a couple of nice days.
Yes,
but things will change.
Don't get too used to it, basically. Okay. Enjoy today. Tomorrow, we're near 60 inland. In fact, some of the warmest spots today could get close to 70. We have sun, but clouds return tomorrow night into Wednesday. We do have rain in the forecast Thursday. However, I should mention it's a beneficial rain. We are tracking a cooler trend. AJ will have more on that ahead.
Our lawns will love it.
Yes, that's true.
All right, Kellyanne, thank you. We'll see you tomorrow morning on the Eye Opener, but there is another half hour of news ahead. Here's Erica.